And something else that I need you all to hear me on as we go through this retrospective look at Henry's career, okay? We all saw different movies, and you have to respect that. You have to understand that Henry's best work wasn't even seen by the masses. Okay? We overlook this because most of the people who adore Henry Cavill's Superman, most of the people who adore the Snyderverse and want to see it restored and want to see it sold to Netflix, most of those people are doing it based on alternate cuts of two of Henry's movies. Okay, they're not doing it based on the theatrical cut of Batman versus Superman, which even most Snyder fans will admit that that version is the inferior cut of the movie. It's the cut of the movie that doesn't flow as well, where they cut out a lot of the subplots and a lot of Clark Kent's actual subplots aren't in there. Okay, so most Snyder fans know that the Batman versus Superman that everyone in the world saw was an incomplete, less than version of the movie. And then, with Justice League, the better cut of that one was the Zack Snyder's Justice League, which again, that was only seen by a much smaller audience. The one that was shown to the world, and the one that said, from director Zack Snyder, Justice League, that's the one that came out in 2017, where Henry's face looked like hell. And we're going to get to that later in this episode. But you've got to remember that when you're arguing with people who said that his Superman was no good or that his movies sucked, these people went to the movies and saw the theatrical cut of BVS and the theatrical cut of Justice League. So you can't convince them that Henry was amazing because you like the director's cut of those two movies. Like it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, we can only really discuss en masse the versions of the movies that everyone saw, that all the fans bought tickets to go see. And unfortunately, that is just the theatrical cuts of the movies. So as we go through this and I say some things about these theatrical cuts that might wound you, just remember, I'm looking at this from the vantage point of how the world saw Henry, how the world experienced Henry Cavill's Superman. I'm not doing it from my own personal thing, and I'm going to throw in my 2 cents here and there, but I'm trying to give you the bigger picture of how Henry Cavill's Superman was presented to the world, was disrespected from behind the scenes, and why ultimately that disrespect is what prevented him from becoming this generation's Superman.